Content analysis 2750. My puppy dog is my profile picture. Please subscribe. My views are going up, but my subscriptions are low. I'm not going live until my subscriptions get up through these videos. You can like it if you want to like it. You can share it if you want to share it. You can comment. Your comment will be like really good, so I can see what other people are thinking. I'm always going to start this thing with quotes. All my videos going to always start with quotes. It's like your daily horoscope. I'm going to give you something that you could think about as you go throughout your day. You can apply to your active life. I'm going to talk about China Mac and Charleston White. China Mac want to make this an Asian black thing, when Charleston White was talking about him in specific. And he said nothing wrong in my eyesight. I'm not no young dude. I'm not out here seeking no clout. I love my black people. I know what we've been through, what we're going through, and how people infiltrate our culture and then think they got a voice. They think they got a voice to dictate to us what we're doing wrong or what we're not doing wrong. I hate that. But today's quote is this: life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. There's going to be natural changes and there's going to be spontaneous changes. Charleston White has just brought a spontaneous change to China Mac's behavior, and he can't deal with it. So he's trying to call on the world to say that Charleston White is trying to incite everybody to create an Asian black war or some type of thing, Asian black dislike. I don't know. I can't say what he's trying to create, and I can't put it in words. But it says life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. China Mac is trying to resist the change in his behavior. Like, he's acting black. He could say nigger, nigger, nigger. He's interviewing all these black people. He's trying to get so involved into the black community. And he thought it was all good until Charleston White came along. Because all them other black people, they're twisted in their mind. They don't understand and stand by their blackness. I'm going to bring something to your attention here in this video. That only creates sorrow. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. So China Mac he's having sorrow right now. He's feeling bad right now. He's feeling like Charleston White is attacking the Asian people in a whole when Charleston White is only attacking him. Let reality be reality. The reality of it is you're not black China Mac. You are a whole Asian, Chinese, Korean, from Hong Kong, wherever you're from, wherever your ancestors are from. That's what you are. That's what you are. And Charleston White, you was the next on his list. And he got you, bro. And you should let reality be reality, because the reality of the thing is you're not black. Like Charleston White said, you didn't come out of a black pussy. You lived around black people and tried to adopt this here behavior. That don't make you black, bro. That don't make you black, bro. He didn't say nothing wrong, and now you want to fight, and now you want to rally all these black people that's in the industry, podcasters, on your side, and they're dumb as rocks because they should make you accept the reality of what the fuck he said. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Let it flow, man. You can look at what Charleston White said, and you can let it flow. Because now you got people like me, realistic, on your back to show you your own history so you can stop and think. What I'm about to disclose to you people is not true for all of the people, because the younger generation think they could stop the past, and you can't stop the past. You can't stop what people have said. My mother rid on the back of the bus. So my mother never took the train, God bless her soul, because she passed away. She never took the train. She always took the bus. She used to drive me crazy. And she would get me to go on these bus rides with her wherever she had to go. I don't care where she had to go. She's taking the bus. She's not going on no train. And she's taking the bus and she's trying to find a seat in the front. And I don't care if a white person was so old they had the crutches, was handicapped. She is not giving her seat up to those people. And one day there was this old lady, man. She couldn't even hardly stand up. And my mother was sitting there, and I was standing by my mother. So I was like, damn, Mom, you can stand up, man. Get the lady. My mother went crazy on that bus. And when I left, I said, Mom, what happened to you? My mother had to give her seat up for white people to sit down. So my mother realized right now she don't have to, and she used that to her advantage. She sat in the front of the bus at all times, hoping that some frail white person got on the bus that couldn't stand up, that was handicapped, that was disabled, so she could look at them and laugh because she was not giving up her seat on that bus for that white person, because things has changed. And I didn't get mad at her. It wasn't on me to get mad at her. She experienced what she experienced with those people. And I understood it. And China Mac, you got to understand, Charleston White is one to call you out on your nonsense. You became a rapper. You did your thing. I listened to some of your music. And you decided that you're going to incorporate yourself so much into the black community that you think you have a say-so. You don't have a say-so in the black community. You Asians are not sympathetic of the black problem in America and in foreign lands. And I'm going to show you a history, man. I'm not one of them guys, like, I wish so much for my people, and I've been through so much fights with these different people that I understand them. And this is not something to bring forth hate. This is not something to rally black people to go against Asian people. This is just information to know. We stand alone, man. We have to fight for ourselves. And you, just like you said, Charleston White is not the voice for black people. You don't know who the voice for black people are. But you are not somebody who could come in and say who's the voice for black people. And you are not somebody to come in and say Charleston White is so wrong that black people should try to backlash him and do whatever he has to do, y'all have to do to get rid of him. That's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all always get rid of our leaders, the most vocal people for our race. Let me show you something now. Let's go. We're going to go into this. Let's look at China White now. This is you, China White. China Mac. I don't know why I'm calling you China Mac, because I don't give a fuck about no names, bro. I know you Chinese. That's all I know. I'm sorry for misrepresenting your name, but let's look at this right here.
Good morning, America.
I've always wanted people to see who I really am.
With a black friend
In school. Right.
that was important to you,
Right.
who was,
Black.
but who was the person?
I don't even know. I've never seen him after that.
What do you mean?
So what happened was.
But you had a friend.
All right. What happened was my grandfather lived in Brooklyn, right? He lived in like Brownsville area, like somewhere around here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I lived there for a little bit, right? And then when I was a kid, I went to school. I was zoned to a school there. My first 2-3 days there, I go to the school. When my grandfather comes and picks me up, I'm standing outside talking to a black kid. And when I go in the car, he looks in the mirror and tells me if he catches me talking to another black kid, I can't go in the house.
So your grandfather, when you were young, supposedly in Brownsville, you were around black people, and you had a black friend, and you got in the car with your grandfather, and your grandfather told you. This is what he told you. Let's go back. I don't wanna like be on here, and I don't wanna come up with my own thoughts and opinions about what's going on with you. But I know that Charleston White said nothing wrong. And I know that your people are not with black people as you're portraying it to make people go against Charleston White. And those people who are going to Charleston White for what he said are stupid as fuck. They dumb as rocks. They don't want nothing for themselves. They don't understand nothing about themselves. And they're going to continue to tear up their own people because they don't understand their self, neither do they understand their culture. They stripped from us everything except our language and made us walk every step of the way. Therefore, black people are trying to find identity in other cultures that really don't give a fuck about them. This nigga is only a bag in the rap industry. That's all he is. He's nothing else. He should not speak for black people. He should not be using the N-word. He should not be saying nigga this, nigga this, nigga that, nigga that. And he should not be getting y'all to go against Charleston White for something he said that's in reality. That's the truth about Asian people. And I'm going to show y'all more. But let's listen to this guy, what he says out his mouth.
So I lived there for a little bit, right? And then when I was a kid, I went to school. I was zoned to a school there. My first 2-3 days there, I go to the school. When my grandfather comes and picks me up, I'm standing outside talking to a black kid. And when I go in the car, he looks in the mirror and tells me if he catches me talking to another black kid, I can't go in the house.
His grandfather told him if he sees him talking to another black kid, that he cannot no longer come into his grandfather's house. Charleston White did not talk about something like that. Charleston White talked about China Mac trying to be a Chinese or Oriental or Asian, whatever he labels himself as, trying to be black when it shouldn't be accepted so easily by black people. Because when he goes home, he cannot talk highly of black people. He cannot say that he's the ultimate friend of black people. He cannot say that he's championed the cause of black people because his parents, his grandparents, his uncle, his aunt, the people around him are not going to accept that from him. And before they accept that from him, they are going to ostracize him. He has got to get away from them talking about positivity of the black community or within the black community or champion a cause for the black community. Look.
So when we got in the house, I stayed my ass outside. I stood right on the fucking the steps,
Yeah.
and I said, "Call my mom. I'm not going inside. Fuck you." You know what I'm saying? And my mom came and picked me up. You know what I'm saying? So, so that I was going through that shit since a kid. You know what I mean? And then
he had an experience.
No, but
with black
again,
people.
it's like
I
what I
don't
was
think he
saying,
had a
your
personal
parents
experience.
is
You don't think he ever got
taught that.
robbed or he got beat
he
up?
might have, but you know.
But he might have been taught that from.
Right.
Y'all listen to this while I go take a break for a little while.
He might have got robbed or beat up.
But it's not out of hate. That's the thing.
Right.
It's not out of hate. You feel me? Like the China, the Asian prejudice that I've experienced isn't. I hate black people. It's I'm scared of black people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like when I see a black person, I don't hate you. I don't want to kill you. I just want to cross the street because what I've learned is that you might rob me, you might kill me, you might punch me, you might do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if what's that from? I don't know. But
Could be rap.
Man, it could be media.
You might have seen an Onyx video.
No.
But it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, the
I'm just
scariest
saying.
thing, at one point in America, right, we're talking about the entire late 70s to pretty much 2000. The scariest words in America were young black men. Okay?
That's real.
That's very real. So,
To the point where it affects us.
And that's the same shit. That's the media. That's how they painted the black people at the time. And this is how they playing Asian.
But it's not just that. It's like, all right. So like, I travel a lot, and if I stay at a hotel where there's mad black people, you like this.
This province, like we look at Hong Kong people from Hong Kong look at mainland China like less civilized than this, and then we look at Cambodians and Filipinos and like different than other.
Go to motionray.com to add this to your video and that and that.
Fire.
My movement is, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Asian people, we gotta toughen the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna have to start uniting together because we don't know when these issues are gonna stop. They don't look like they're gonna stop anytime soon because it doesn't look like the battle with China is gonna end anytime soon. So as long as that shit's there, this shit is still gonna be there, right? You know what I'm saying? So now, I feel like my message to my Asian people is okay. You know what I mean? There's an issue. There's an issue that is beyond us saying, oh, you know, and we shouldn't point fingers. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, oh, black people are attacking us. You know what I'm saying? Because last time I checked, the last 3 murders happened from white people.
White people.
You know what I'm saying? And then I seen Spanish people doing it. I seen black people doing it. I seen all types of people doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we need to be worrying about any particular race right now. You feel me?
It's a mentality.
What I do think we need to be worried about is us realizing that there is an issue and that we have to come together, right? And then we're gonna have to protect our communities a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Just however, whatever that means.
Protect
right?
our
But we're gonna have
communities.
this shit ain't gonna stop until we step up and say, you know, we're gonna protect our own community. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's
Protect
not
our own
It's
communities.
not you going in these communities and beating up 89-year-old women. You know what I'm saying? It's just some random people, and you have to understand. Not only is Asian crime up, crime is up.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? My bro Gutter and Prince is worldly shit. So yeah, of course, there's Asian attacks. You know what I'm saying? But it's not more than fucking everything else that's
been
happening.
going on to black
right?
people,
But it's
whatever.
been
You know what I mean? All that shit.
fake. You know what I'm
So
saying?
let me ask you a question. With this movement that you have, do you look at your black friends and be like, yo, y'all coming out?
No,
Why not?
because there's some shit we gotta.
He asked them, do you look at your black friends and say to them, yo, bro, y'all got to come out with me and help us fight this shit that's going on with the Asian people? He said no. Look.
You feel me? If you come out, yeah, I might be like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you come out, I never say, yo, come out with me. You know what I'm saying? If you come out, you come out. You know what I'm saying? Just like.
He never said, you come out with me. If you come out, you come out. That's like you just saying, man, fuck that, what you saying. I'm going with you, bro. This shit is rough, and you fighting the champion of cause. You trying to change this. I'm with you, bro. You my man. I'm with you. It's stupid shit black people do when it comes to other races of people. Listen to him, bro.
Just like.
But why wouldn't you ask them, like, yo?
Because it's something that we have to handle first. This is our.
Math Hoffa asked him, why wouldn't you ask your black homeboys to come out? And let's look what he say, bro.
Let me ask you a question. With this movement that you have, do you look at your black friends and be like, yo, y'all coming out?
No.
Why?
No.
Because this some shit we gotta do.
But this some shit we got to
If
do.
you come out, yeah, I might be like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you come out, I never say, yo, come out with me. You know what I'm
I
saying?
never
If you
said come out with me.
You know what I'm saying? Just like.
But why wouldn't you ask them?
Why wouldn't you?
Because
Good
it's
question.
something that we have to handle first. This is our community first before it's your community. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't ask anybody.
So he says this is our community first. Meaning a Chinese, Asian, whatever he, label himself as. He says they have to come out first. They can't rely on other people to come with him. He's not going to ask his black friends to come out with him. So why the fuck is you getting so involved in the black community stuff? Why are you so offended with what Charleston White says? These are your words right here. If you're saying that your group has to come out first, then why black people can't dissolve their own issues? Why is you going so hard and trying to act like you're black and your mindset is not really there? I'm going to show y'all some more stuff. And I hope that China Mac, you look at this, but you know this already. I'm just informing black people with the information that I'm bringing forth. Content analysis, 2750. My puppy dog is my profile picture. And y'all could subscribe, y'all could like, y'all could dislike, y'all could comment. I know one thing. Black people are so involved in the negativity of destroying themselves that this positive stuff that I'm bringing towards y'all going to look past it. Y'all not going to try to look at this and y'all not going to try to learn nothing from it. But that's just the way we are. And I've been living this shit for years, man. For years, man. I'm not no young boy. I'm not just out there. Let's see a little more of him, then we getting off of him. I just wanted to show y'all what he said.
If some shit is happening in my house, I have to make sure that I do what I can first. Anybody else that come, that's a blessing.
But I don't agree with that because I feel like community is not a color, it's not a race.
Right.
So if you got homies that really ride for you.
Math Hoffa is dumb as fuck. The same stupid black ideology. While you're worried about the communities that's well off, you're saying that I don't believe in that. I believe in we gotta be together, but we're suffering, man. We are suffering. And we've been suffering. And we've been suffering. We've had to fight and have soldiers guide our people into schools. We weren't allowed to read, and we had them sympathizers who decided to teach us to read through usage of the Bible. They took from us everything except our language and made us walk every step of the way. So where you got religion from? Where you got cultural prosperity from? Where did you get your inspirations to do better from? Y'all think about this shit. I'm not doing this for no hate for YouTube, for all y'all people who viewing this thing. I'm not doing this for hate. I'm doing this for awareness. And I'm doing this because Charleston White said something directly towards China Mac, and he tried to bring it to the Asian population and say that he's trying to create a problem with Asians and black, and the problem already been there. Remember I brought y'all up in the video prior to this, the camouflage thing? Think about it, man. Let's look at a little more of this thing.
Like if China Mac got a problem,
Then I
and you
shouldn't
pick
ask
up the
them.
phone,
Right, you shouldn't ask
this is
them.
what I'm saying.
Shouldn't
This is what
ask
I'm saying. Like, those people
But
should
I
be
got-
there, and it shows, yo, we stand together.
Right. But what
and
I'm
that
saying
kinda
is,
towards
that's
the
not
people who are
something.
looking like,
That's not something that I need to ask on.
Right.
Right.
Why do I have to ask you? You know what I'm saying? If I ask you, then that means it really wasn't on your mind like that. So I would rather just, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I need to ask anybody, but I don't think I come from a school where we gotta handle shit ourselves first.
Right.
We gotta look within ourselves. You know what I mean? Well, who's on this block? This shit happened right here. Who's on this block? I'm not gonna call you all the way in fucking Harlem to come, or Brooklyn.
Nah,
to
fuck
come.
that. Pick up the phone,
No,
bro.
but what I'm saying is, well, no, you have to
This how I
understand.
feel.
No, as a
So
friend,
predominantly,
I
you
understand
want to
how you feel.
unify Asians primarily, right?
I want to unify the
you wanna
people, but what I'm saying
unify your
is,
people.
if this shit happened in your neighborhood, right? If this shit happened, where you from? You from Brooklyn. So if this shit was happening and a bunch of Puerto Rican ladies getting punched in the mouth, right? A bunch of Puerto Rican ladies getting cut, little babies getting beat up, like shit like that is happening.
All right, we're going to stop this, man, because that's a bunch of nonsense to me he's talking right now. He said the most important thing he said. Now, he tried to take what Charleston White said to him, directly to him, about him trying to be black. And we heard from his own mouth that his family does not agree with him dealing with black people. So he's been raised under the mindset that black people are no good, black people, whatever they, I can't say what they feel towards black people. Only thing I could say was black people need to not be so accepting and need to not be taking outsiders' problems and carrying it on their shoulder against another black person, because the overall census is they never liked you anyway. They're the outsiders anyway. Now, let me show you something. I just wanted to pull that up because I don't want to assume what a person thinks. I don't want to assume how a person raised. If a person is dumb enough to get on an interview on social media and expose themselves and their family and their background, and we need to look at that. We need to say, how effective can you be in our struggles, and this is the way that you were raised. We need to ask the question of, why are you doing so much someplace where you really can't benefit us, because you can't bring the masses of your people to fight with us, because the masses of your people is against us. Now let me show you something.
The instant 500 scratch-off game from the New York Lottery is packed with prizes. You can unpack a chance to win up to $500
The all-out assault on Africans living in Guangzhou has been documented in recent weeks in video and stories of Chinese police rounding up Africans, forcing them out of their homes and hotels, and putting them out on the streets in a backlash against those thought most likely to be carriers or transmitters of the coronavirus. Local authorities are unconcerned with potential accusations of racism, and concern only came at a natural level once embassies, leaders, citizens from dozens of African countries began to vociferously protesting China's treatment of their citizens. Many Africans have had their own experiences with racism in China. Y'all understand that right there? So if Charleston White said something about China Mac, and he wants to take that to create cultural tension, black people, China, Charleston White is not wrong. And this is something that has been confronted and needs to be confronted. Let's go a little further. Let's see some more. Let's see some more, please. I found this under 31 or 49 things that prove that Chinese people are racist against black people, and it say, I don't date black people. Well, we all have preferences. It's just another way of saying you have racist belief about black people. You don't see a lot of Chinese people dating black people. White people date black people. Spanish people date black people. Russian people date black people. Bosnian people date black people. Not that it's acceptable, but it's something that some people say, the thought that you raised me under is wrong. So I am going to date this person. Up to the day, you do not see a lot of black people dating Chinese people. My friend was able to date a Chinese girl. So one day he asked me to drive her to the parents' house so that she can get some money, you know, because he wasn't doing so well. He wasn't hustling in the streets or nothing. He was all right with me, so I gave him a drive. I didn't charge him or nothing. So she said, don't pull up on the block. My parents be watching outside of the window. So he's going to say, pull up on the block. So I'll say, yo, bro, you need to listen to her and not pull up on the block. I am only the driver. This is my homeboy. I'm not going to go against what you say because I'm riding with you, however things may go. He wants to pull up on the block. The parents seen him. They kicked that girl out. And they were rich. They had a nice apartment, like somewhere around Park Avenue in Manhattan. They owned it, a nice house, a beautiful house. They had a lot of money. And they put her out. Just like he said. Just like China Mac said. His grandfather told him, if I see you talking with those black people again, you are not allowed in my house. They put that girl out. Thank God that he put her through what he put her through and made her get kicked out after not listening to her. And he stayed with her. They had some beautiful kids and all of that. And they got married. That was a good end to the fucked up story. But that's the way it go, yo. Let's go. Let's see. Saying the N-word, just don't. But I have black friends. My black friends say I can. Because you got some black guys that say, although this word denotates your racist ideologies or stereotypical thoughts, that, hey, man, you're really cool, man. He could say it, man. He's one of us. He's never one of y'all. So don't say it. I don't care. And no one person can speak on behalf of an entire community. That's tokenizing. And we should be better. And that's the truth. China Mac should not be allowed to freely say nigger, nigger, nigger like he's a part of the environment. You know how that nigger shit came about? Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan when he was under Elijah Muhammad, W.E.D. Du Bois, they said, you know, like, white people were calling black people niggers so much that they said the only way to combat that pain that came from them saying that word to black people is to use it yourself. If you use it yourself, then it won't affect you so much with these people saying it. So black people started saying nigger, 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 nigger. It didn't stop a lot because a white person said they beat him up and this and that and that and that, but they let certain cultures say it. You should not let anybody say it. China Mac, just because he's a rapper, it should not be allowed to freely use that word. He is not of black origin. And like Charleston White said, you could have been born in the center of Brownsville houses. Look what your grandfather told you when he had to come pick it up. That doesn't make you black. That doesn't make you so involved in the black community that you could speak our language. They stripped from us everything except our language and made us walk every step of the way. So our language is our language. It's not your language. It's not something that you should be able to just blurt out at any man because you're a rapper. Dancing to music by black artists, but never engaging in social justice conversation. You could be a rapper all you want, bro, but stay out of black cultural issues and problems. You are not, you said Charleston White is not the voice for black people. Neither are you. Neither are you, China Man. Neither are you, man. Know your place, man. You're getting too bigger than yourself. And then you have the nerve to try to rally black people against Charleston White for what he says when it is the truth of what he said. Getting at you, you try to bring it to the Asian people. If he directed toward the Asian people, he not wrong about that neither. Let's go. Avoiding black neighborhoods and calling the area sketchy, ghetto, shady. Looking for good school districts. And meaning where there are mostly rich white Eastern Asian who get into elite colleges. That speaks for itself. Not understanding the systematic reason why there are so few black people in leadership positions and understanding false narratives to justify pipeline problem, we don't lower the bar, hire the best. Not understanding how we use the same tools white supremacy uses to oppress us and oppress black folks. Being the oppressed favorite tool to create racial divide among people. That speaks for itself. Let's see a little more. This is somebody who had a relationship with an Asian person. Amit, who is British with Indian heritage, kept his relationship with Michelle, who's British and Ghanaian heritage, secret for years because he feared his family's reaction. He says that racist attitudes about black people in his community can be influenced by colorism and a caste system in some Southern Asian countries. Rapper, here go a rapper now. Raj Forever's music draws on his Jamaican and Sri Lankan heritage, but growing up, he was made to feel like an outsider in the Asian community and has heard offensive slurs used to describe black people that's from the Asian community. China Matt, talk about this. Don't talk about Charleston white attacking you and trying to create some problems between blacks and Asians, because the Asians had already created a problem between blacks and themselves, and they still do. When have you seen a black guy washing the dishes in a Chinese restaurant? When have you seen a black guy mopping the floors in a Chinese restaurant? When have you seen a black person monitoring the counter in a Chinese restaurant? And they come into the neighborhoods and they do very, very well with their Chinese food. But they don't say, well, you know, we're in this community, let's hire some black people and really incorporate into the community. No, they want to keep it divisive. They want to keep it separate. So how far off the mark was Charleston White when he's talking to you, but you want to make it a big cultural thing? You want to create Asians against blacks when Asians has already been against blacks. So you could say Charleston White decided to bring up something to make black people fight back against Asians, which is, hey, we don't need that. Well, if we have understanding, we could prosper better because we know who our enemies are. You can't fight anything when you don't know who your enemies are. Let's see if I got something else. Because I got some stuff on my phone. Let's go. Cultural appropriation in the form of art, music, fashion, hair, makeup, etc. Google Asian rappers. Y'all Google Asian rappers. I'm screaming. Now I'm getting the wrath of Asian hip-hop fans. So I'll say this to clarify. I don't mean non-black people shouldn't rap or adopt the art ever. Although some people may believe this, and I won't fight you. Rather, there are too many Asian folks taking the music form without paying proper respect to its history and origin. Cultural appropriation happens when we take parts of other community cultures and use them for our own enjoyment and benefit without paying proper respect or acting in solidarity with our daily lives. I don't have to explain that. It speaks for itself, China Mac. If you're contemplating getting dreadlocks as a non-black person, consider this response from Michael Harriet, whoever that person is. I tell him that it means something. Dreads are subtle protest and a personal bit of empowerment in a culture that strips away every part of your heritage, down to your follicles. I'll tell him that for some, it's a religious experience. I'd explain that It's the height of privilege and disrespect to appropriate all of that just because he think it looks cute. China Mac, just because you think you made rap records, you went to jail and all this, you raised up and you went to school in Brownsville somewhere, bro, you are not supposed to be doing the things you're doing as an Asian American. Charleston White said nothing wrong. You need to fall back and think about what you're doing, not what he's doing, because you've been called into play. You got them ignorant black people that's fighting against Charleston White for you and a culture that just fought against black people. I could bring up so much more. I could show you so much more. Not from my perspective, from historical learning about Asians and blacks. This is my final thing for you. This is my final thing for you. 4 things. This is one for my people. Reminder, I don't speak for all Asians. Because in this day and time, you have sympathizers. And sympathizers are those people who will fight with you. They understand the reality of how things are and how they were raised, and they understand that it was wrong, and they don't try to fit into your culture. They try to say that what their people done was wrong. That's not what you do, China Mac. You try to come in here and Charleston White point out the real in your situation, and you try to turn his own people against him, and them idiots turn against him, and you're all the way wrong, man. I'm not doing this for hate. I'm not doing this to create conflict with you. I'm doing this to bring information to my people that they should not be supporting you against Charleston White, neither against academics. This is not for black people to go out and start attacking Asian people. This is to understand how Asian people view you so you can know how to conduct yourselves around Asian people, so you can know how far to let them go when they're trying to get into your culture. You're going too far, China Mac. You're doing too much, man. You said yourself, which your family member told you, your grandfather. So your grandfather had to teach your mother had to teach your brother, your mother and her brother. So your uncle had to know and all of this stuff. So, brother, you did not come up under conditions that's compatible to you trying to come into the black culture and try to have a say-so and try to turn people against a black person who only spoke the truth. That man did not lie about what he said about you trying to be black. That man gave you a heads up that you need to fall back and consider where you came from and where you're going, and to do your thing in the right way. You yourself said on Math Hoffa's forum, my expert opinion, your community has to take care of itself. Don't need no black people, no Spanish people. Just your Asian people, just your Chinese people. Let's go into this. This is what Chinese people do to black people. Calling the police on black people. Doing this escalates everything and the very possibly life-threatening for black folks. Yet I see Asians using this tool of oppression too quickly whenever they perceive, a lot of times not even real, threat. I challenge everyone to reflect on the time you've called the cops. Did they actually help? What did they do was helpful? We mistake calling the cops with safety. They don't keep us safe. I don't need to explain nothing about that. Asian store owners following black people around, profiling, and other surveilling, being afraid of black people the moment they are in sight. That's true. You know by you leave. You buy. You know by you leave. You know by you leave. That's what they always say. How many black people are working in those Asian stores on Canal Street in Chinatown? How many of them is in the fish markets? How many of them is in the Chinese restaurants? And you could say what you want to say about the Jewish people, but the Jewish people, they hire black people and they pay them well. And when they're unionized, they don't care. They freely accept the union. Those people in the music industry might talk bad about those Jewish people, but they give them millions of dollars. And maybe they want you to join this group and do this and do that, but they paying you millions to do that. Ain't no Chinese doing that. And they got big corporations. Not believing black people's stories and struggles. Are you sure they meant it that way? It's not always about race. How it's not always about race when it's about race with you people? How? China Mac. These are the things you should explain it. Fuck trying to get people to, flip on Charleston White because you feeling a way about the reality of what he said. Check yourself, man. You out of pocket, bro. You really out of pocket, bro. This is especially harmful because gaslighting that comes from marginalized groups is even more gaslighting. Preferring lighter skin color over dark, using and promoting skin whitening products. Colorism has long been a part of Asian cultures globally. Globally, my guy. And the damning effects are seen within and across different Asian communities. While in Asian countries, the preference for lighter skin might come from a disparity in socioeconomic class. Farm workers being darker versus wealthier upper class people being fairer. We must question how this prevalent association, wealthy and educated lighter skin and poor and educated darker skin, manifesting our behaviors and narratives today. China Mac, check yourself, bro. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You really are. And you got them ignorant ass black people standing up there talking up with you to go against their own. Black people quick to go against their own, not understanding the history of those other people that they're going against their own for. Not understanding the cultural dynamics of the other people they're going for. You out of line, China Mac. You shouldn't want to fight Charleston White. You should not be trying to want to counsel Charleston White. You should not want to be trying to flag his channel. You should not be calling out his racism because it's there in your community and your culture and your people. It's been there. It's been there. I don't have no problem with you, but I have a problem with what you're doing. I do. As an older black guy who fought all my life, who wake up every day wishing to see separate but equal treatment. To see you with the ability to become a rapper and turn black people against black people who are only calling you out on the truth. It angers me. It upsets me. And it's not me who have to fix this situation. It's you. Because you know that man is right in what he said. You're holding on to something or trying to hold on to something that you should not be holding on to. And you got ignorant people following behind you like you're some leader of the group in a culture you're not meant for. I don't have nothing against you. I just want you to acknowledge the reality of the situation, even as said by your own words on the Math Hoffa interview, and fall back and shut the fuck up when it comes to black people. Because you don't see a lot of these people on these forums, on their podcasts, talking about your people and the things your people should do. And you don't have a lot of people trying to fight your people. So stop trying to fight my people. Do your rap songs, get your money, and go to fuckhead. That's what you need to do. Let's go back. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. Stop resisting the change that Charleston White has brought. That you need to change your attitude and your behavior when it comes to black people. Stop resisting it. That only creates sorrow. And your sorrow, you're trying to bring a whole group in that they're not right neither. That the tension could only be bad. You have no fight here. Charleston White speaks facts. Let reality be reality, bro. Let reality be reality, bro. Let things flow naturally, forward, in whatever way they like. Let it flow. Shut the fuck up. Stop trying to create more problems for the truth. Stop trying to bash the truth with lies. Come to terms with the reality of the truth that Charleston White said. Stop trying to bring multiple people into a situation that is true, that can only get bad. Stop doing it, man. Content analysis, 2750. My puppy dog is my profile picture. You can subscribe, which I would like. You can like, you can comment. This is not live. This is a video. And I will keep doing videos until my subscriptions get up and then I'll go live. I do not make money off of this. But I feel a way when I got a culture vulture. A true culture vulture. This guy's a true culture vulture. Coming in and trying to infiltrate my people and have them fighting a fight with lies against the truth. Like I said, with lies against the truth. Y'all have a nice night and be sure to tune into my next video. Thank you very much.